Hey everybody, Steve here with Autohitch.com, and you're probably asking yourself at this point, what is Autohitch.com? Well, we have an explainer video. I actually just got the alert about an hour ago that it's done today, so hopefully it won't need any revisions, and we'll have that up for you, and we'll do another video on what Autohitch.com is or is going to be. And it's a small startup, and we're actually going to be a car shopping service, so we'll leave it at that we'll leave it right at that for now. Also, bear with me for the video. I don't do many of these. This is my first, maybe second video. So again, be patient with me. But what I want to cover with you guys today is something that's going to double, triple, quadruple, or quintuplet, I don't know, your traffic. It's going to drive it up greatly if you do it. And where does it start? Okay, it starts with philosophy. I have to say it starts with philosophy, and the biggest change for philosophy is going to be the fact that there's more value than just what's sitting on your lot, and that traffic, meaning people, are more valuable than just those that are going to buy that thing that's on your lot. Okay, and let me explain. I'm going to say that a lot. Let me explain. I just actually happened to have a recent conversation with a boat dealer, and these two are very tied down here in South Florida, but I had this conversation with a boat dealer, and he was telling me, you know, he wanted to do some visual work with me, like, you know, do 360 stuff, do some videos, do things like that for his visual content. And in doing so, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I've actually sold a couple of boats on Instagram, and that's also something we're going to deal with because car dealers need to get on Instagram. But he's like, I sold a couple of boats on Instagram and everything, but I put some stuff up, and man, I got 20,000 followers, and I get all these likes and all these comments, and I've sold a couple. And he's downplaying it. And I know a lot of car dealers probably do the same thing. Like, well, I did something and I got all this traffic, but how many people bought cars? How many people bought cars? And if nobody bought cars, you don't do it anymore. And that should be a sin. That should be an absolute sin, because all that traffic has value in and of itself. Excuse me. All that traffic has value in and of itself, okay? Because what's going to happen is if you create something, and I'm just throwing a number out here because this is actually a standard number. If you do a review video for a car in your dealership, and I've seen just random dealerships, not even big dealer groups, just make a video, just salesperson, just walking around a truck, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 views, okay? And I think 50,000 is the average and on the low end, and I've seen them go higher. If you do that, and you get 50,000 people, or you take that video, you embed it on your site, you create an article around that, and you say that drives another 30 to 40,000, right? That's 30 to 40,000 people that went to your site that didn't go to the competitor's site. What's Google going to do when someone that's around you searching for a vehicle to buy in that class? Okay, so let's say it's a Cadillac, because that's the example we're going to use today. Let's say it's a Cadillac. Well, if the last 2 months your site has seen 50,000 more organic search traffic than your competitor, where's Google going to send them? Who's Google going to send them to first? They're going to show your dealership first. Then they're going to show the page with the video. Then they're going to show the video and the videos. And then somewhere in the middle is going to be your competition, okay? None of those people could have bought a car, but because all those people went to your site, that person that's searching is going to now see you first and probably buy a car from you, okay? So everything is valuable. Just because no one bought, don't look at your staff and say, well, this promotion was great, it drove all in its traffic, or, oh, we did this Facebook ad. Something else I've done recently with a couple dealerships. Oh, we did a Facebook ad, we got all this traffic, and it was a great relevant score. Well, how many people contacted, how many people? It doesn't always matter. So if those people come back to you and they've done something, have created a bunch of traffic, tell them to keep doing that, because what's going to happen is you're going to tell them, don't do that, do something else that might bring in actual car buyers, right? And what usually is going to happen there is they're going to change something. They're not going to get any of that extra traffic. They're not actually going to get more car buyers, and you're going to kill your long-term strategy and you're going to kill your short-term strategy. So if something drives traffic, stick with it. Continue to drive that traffic, bump up your Google rankings, and you're going to beat your competitors locally. Believe me, it's what Cars.com does, it's what AutoTrader and CarGurus, it's what all these people that you're paying, right, for them to shave off the traffic to you, it's what you're paying them to do. The only difference is that because this is organic, you can control it. This is your content. You can control who's coming in. When you pay all these other people, they get to control who's coming in. And believe me, they're not going to favor anybody. That's what they do. They need to be able to go to every single dealership every month and say, I gave you people, I gave you people, I gave you people. They have to be equal. They have to drive a similar amount of traffic. That's why, and I've done tests on this, when you go to email, I look up a car at a dealership, the next thing I get is an email about all the other dealerships. They have to keep the traffic fair. So drive traffic yourself, make your domain, make your site, make all your social media, everything more valuable. Believe me, it's going to pay off. Okay, so let's get into an example right now. I'm going to try to fire this off for you guys real quick, okay? I used a Cadillac dealership locally, and not necessarily them. I actually just kind of did Cadillac dealerships in South Florida, okay? Now, the Cadillac dealership, I might have referenced this before, that I do a lot of work with, only has 1,000 organic, click-throughs, right? People, traffic is at 1,000 a month, and that's for a 30 to 40-year-old dealership. Now, I was able to find that a couple of other dealerships had a little bit more, but then when I dug into all the keywords that all these dealerships are ranking for and the possibilities, I mean, right there, I didn't even have to scroll down on my tool here. There was something that had a 0 keyword difficulty. Now, that's hard enough as it is, but in automotive, to find a keyword, especially a 2017 Cadillac XT5, I mean, that's a car. That's a popular car. To find that had 0 difficulty, I was amazed. Then I went in there and I said, whoa, what's going on here is there's 2 sites that do reviews. I think one was US News or something, and I can't remember the other one. There were 2 sites that did reviews, and all the rest were just listings. No one is creating good content for this. They're just doing it by accident. So then what I would do is I would say, and if you're a Cadillac dealership, this is free information for you. What I would do is, for that dealership, I would either tell them if I was consulting, or I would do it for them, and I would create a piece of content. I would create a video. If they happen to have one in stock, great. Let's do a review video. Let's do a test drive video. Let's do a 360 interior. Let's do something, create something around this car, okay? Now, if not, that doesn't mean you can't. We'll do a 2018, we'll do a 2019, okay? And what we're gonna do in there is we're gonna talk about how do we go and reference the 2017 luxury. Well, we're gonna do then we'll talk about the difference between 2018 and 2017. There's creative ways that you can find to put this in your verbal content, okay, which is your video or the podcast or something like that. No one, I don't know, the dealer's not gonna do podcasts. But if you're doing a YouTube video, there's creative ways to get this in there if you don't have that car in stock, okay? And that's what we would do. That's what I would consult them on. That's what I would advise them to do. And because their traffic is 1,000 organic a month, and this keyword actually has, and you probably can't see it, a 2,000 with a return rate of 1.3, okay, with 1,000 clicks, I'm doubling their traffic. One silly little article about that references in some significance 2017 Cadillac XT5 Luxury, I can now double their traffic, okay? Or I can put that on my site. I can double the traffic to me. I don't list cars on Autohitch.com, but I could do it. I don't know why I would do it, but like I said, there's a creative way to do everything. And because it's so easy to rank for, I don't have to do much, but provide some information, some relevant information about that particular vehicle, even if I could throw in another dealership's listing. I could do it on Autohitch and throw in the dealership's listing that I work for. Because I work for them, that makes it easy to give them that benefit. And I'm not really advertising because it's not my car. I'm not selling that car. And that's another key point, is whatever you guys create for this, I'll throw this in at the end. This isn't really supposed to be part of this, but I'll throw this in at the end. Don't advertise in your content, okay? Reference your vehicle listing, reference your dealership, reference. Don't advertise. There's so much ad fatigue right now. If you look, that's what Facebook's doing, that's what Instagram's doing, that's what all these places are doing. But Facebook is really suppressing you compared to what they were doing 5 years ago. So this is the way to do it now. Because when people come across this, their ears and their eyes are still open, okay? They're trusting. So don't violate that trust. Don't create something and then they click on this and all it is your listing, okay? That doesn't provide them any value. What are we trying to capture, right? We're trying to capture people who might just be reviewing this from, I don't know, a distant state, okay? We're also trying to capture people locally, but we're trying to be more broad with this content. That's what this video is about, is being broad, giving that value out that just brings in traffic that'll help us rank higher to get the people who are actually buying the car. So don't do that. Don't find these terms and then just blast away, because believe me, what's gonna happen is they're gonna go to it, they're going to come off of that page in about 5-10 seconds, and they're going to increase what's called your bounce rate, which then Google's going to look at that and go, ooh, whatever people are seeing on this page, or this site they don't like, which means we don't want to send anybody else. And what you're actually going to do is you're going to drive your rankings lower than they are now, in which case I would tell you, if that's what you're going to do, you're better off just leaving it as is and don't do anything, because you're only going to hurt yourself. So I hope we've covered it today. If you guys have any questions, please follow, please subscribe wherever you're at. That helps, and that's going to help tell me that I should create more of this stuff. If you guys have any questions, if there's a video you guys want to talk about, hey, how do I rank for this? How do I find this kind of customer? How do I do that? Leave that in the comments. Okay, write a comment for me, ask me a question. I'll be happy to answer for you. If it's a video topic, I'll be happy to cut a video. And if I know it's going to be helpful to other dealerships, other people that sell cars, I'll go ahead and make that. That's what we want to do from here on out, and that's why this is the first one, and we're going to clean it up. I'm going to get a little bit better on camera, I promise. But we're going to clean this up, and we're going to do something. So leave any of your questions, leave your comments. I'd love to hear them, even if they're bad. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this, and I look forward to talking with you and, of course, working with you in the future with and through Autohitch.com.